Okay guys, I'm gonna give you guys my week 2 review. I'm pretty tired here. It's going on noon and I haven't been to bed yet. My sleep schedule's still a mess, so bear with me here. Some of my thoughts are gonna be kind of all over the place. Anyway, let's hop into it. Let's open up with the movement. They nerfed sliding because people were, just tapping the run and then just holding circle and just flying across the screen in week 1. So I get why they did it. They also nerfed jumping. They made it initially to where you don't jump as high, and then they added like a jump penalty like Fortnite has to where you can't spam jump anymore. But there was an issue where it was also counting climbing as jumping, so you couldn't make it to some of the upper platforms like on this stage. If you look to the right there, you can climb on those pipes and then jump up to the top. I was having trouble after climbing, running at it and jumping. It just wouldn't let me jump high enough. I think they fixed it on Sunday. So I don't know if it was just a bug where it was reading climbing as jumping and you just couldn't move. But hopefully they fixed it. Friday, it pretty much ruined it for me was the netcode. It felt like I was pouring an unreal amount of bullets into people and they just wouldn't die compared to week 1. I don't know if it was some of the gun balances that they did. From what I read, none of the guns had damage reduction on them, so I don't know what happened. We'll get more into gun balancing later. Let's talk specialists. They changed how you get specialist equipment. They up the time on them to where it takes longer because they wanted to focus on gunplay, and to me that just kind of seems dumb. Why would you, up the time for specialist equipment when the whole focal point is on the specialist system? And I don't mean the specialist abilities, I mean the actual equipment you can choose instead of grenades and trophy systems and that. It adds a personality flair to the character. It really hurt Torque not being able to seal off areas. You only get like 1 barbed wire, and it was like insanely long, even with the equipment recharge, because that's what I ran. It felt like it took forever to get another barbed wire. I played a little bit of Nomad. I thought the dog AI in week 2 was a bit better. They definitely nerfed it to where it doesn't eat anywhere near as many bullets as it did week 1. It's like 20 bullets or 10 bullets and it's dead. But other than that, I didn't really play a lot of Nomad otherwise. Trip Mine obviously felt like normal. It actually kind of hurt him too because the whole mesh mine thing, it hurt making the pattern for it. Because you can set up like a giant tripwire section in an area. And with the cooldowns the way they are now, it just makes it harder to do that. Even with the, like I said, the equipment recharge, which we'll get into in a minute. Tempest, he felt really weird. Like the Tempest, I think had a sight change on it from what I remember playing. I only got to use it a couple times because, like I said, I stopped playing Friday night and then I only played 2 matches Sunday to get footage. So I could make this about 9 minutes and actually have, a decent video. Anyway. Let's move on to tactical equipment, i.e. your body armor and stuff like that. And Stimpack. They buffed Stimpack, and they also buffed the natural regen rate of the health regen, so you get to use it more frequently. I didn't do it with Stimpack because I thought it was almost like week 1. It was really weird. It almost had a regen rate normally as if you had Stimpack from week 1. So I didn't even bother equipping Stimpack to see how much faster it recharged in week 2. From what I understand, they also buffed the equipment recharge item, and even with that, everything felt really slow to come back for your specialist equipment. So I don't really know how much they buffed it, especially compared to how much they nerfed it, or nerfed equipment specialist. From what I understand, they buffed they nerfed the acoustic to where dead silence isn't heard as loud, but I think normal footsteps are picked up louder or something. I know they nerfed body armor as well. They made it to where it's not like damage or bonus health or anything like that anymore. It's more just damage reduction to a certain percent. And I want to say they also removed the hit markers for body armor, so you don't get those anymore. So you can't tell if your opponent's running body armor unless when you kill them, you get 120, like it said right there. It said 125 killed armored enemy. There was no, there's no body armor hit markers anymore. Which to me kind of sucks because you can't tell if your opponent's going to be able to, eat more bullets or what's going to happen until you kill them. Because I'm sure you'd play a gunfight differently if you knew if your opponent could, eat more bullets than you could or something like that. It just felt counterintuitive. I don't know why they added it in the first place if they were just going to remove it. I know they're kind of on damage control with body armor. It's whatever though. Let's move into score streaks, I guess. They lowered the hardline equipment tactical thing for a lot of the score streaks as well. That's why it's kind of in the same category. They also, I guess, increased the cost of the squadron you can call in, the 2-man squad, while also decreasing a lot of the other ones, which I thought was pretty interesting. So they're going to make, I think, the squadron the top kill streak. And I mean, from what I could tell Sunday night, they did quite a bit of work when I was able to get them. Like, they stuck around forever and a half. But yeah, there really wasn't much other changes to kill streaks. We talked about specialist equipment. I think it's about it for all that stuff. Let's talk guns. Actually, no, hold on. There was one more thing for specialists. They buffed the Guardian that Torque gets, and you could tell, like, it ticks people like twice now and they just die instantly. It's crazy. It's pretty nice though. You can definitely see off an area with it when you get it. Anyway, let's hop into guns because I'm trying to keep this about 9 minutes. They nerfed the SMGs across the board. They gave them recoil, and they destroyed the Spitfire. They, I think, reduced the damage on it, and they gave that gun like some super recoil. It was crazy. It was almost unusable. It was almost like the nerfed from Black Ops 3 that they gave the Vesper, where it would just shoot all over the place, but it was really good up close and just sucked far away. So yeah, they nerfed a lot of the SMGs, gave them some recoil. From what I understand, some of the guns felt horrible. Like, I think I was getting hit markers on this guy around the wall. I think that's more networking than anything else, than matchmaking changes they made. Like I said, matchmaking felt kind of weird in week 2 compared to week 1. Assault rifles, they increased the ADS time on them to where they're faster now, so they can kind of compete with SMGs, which I thought was pretty cool. Some of the assault rifles felt weird to me too. Like, they felt like they had like damage drop off or something, like further damage drop off or something. Like, they did less damage, even up close they had less damage, and they had more recoil. I don't know, unless they just changed how like certain attachments interact with guns now. That's possible too. Shotguns I know got buffed a little bit. I don't know, they made their one-hit kill range up close a little bit better. But outside of that, I didn't really play with the snipers, the tactical DMRs or whatever they are, assault rifles. And obviously I didn't play with the sniper rifles either. So, I guess, to sum it all up, we'll just go ahead and do that now. Actually, there's one more thing. They added a new mode called Heist. And I thought it was pretty interesting because it's basically Counter-Strike is what they're getting at. But I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, other than that, that's pretty much it. Final verdict, week 2 I thought was horrible. I just didn't like it. I didn't understand the nerfs to the specialist equipment. The SMG ones I did understand. I don't understand why which they fixed the jumping thing, so that I guess makes sense. I am glad they fixed it, because if that was going to be a thing, then it was going to cause problems for a lot of maps where you climb up to try to jump in a window or something. You wouldn't be able to do that. You'd have to wait a half a second to get your jump to recover back to full. So I'm glad they fixed that. But yeah, all in all, week 2 felt like horrible. I felt like I was going to say crap, but it felt horrible. Week 1 felt a lot smoother, a lot better. I don't know why. It just did. I don't like the changes they made. It feels like they nerfed the specialists way too hard. I mean, they're focusing on it, and then they turn around and, kind of kill that connection you can make with them with their abilities. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to get it. I probably not, personally. But if you like Black Ops and you like boots on the ground, you'll like this game. The screen's about to go black, guys. I'm going to wrap this up here. I'll be back with the Blackout beta in September, so I'll give you guys a review of that mode too. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the beta and had fun with it.